Welcome. It is nice having you here today, and we have a lot to get to when it comes to talking about some key topics that might be impacting not only the markets but also your portfolio. So what we want to do is be talking about some key areas of risk and what we're seeing with the economy, not only here but around the world. Second element we will get to is your portfolio and some of the changes that we are making. And then the third one will highlight the TD Ameritrade and Schwab merger. So let's dive in and really start to understand some of the key concepts that we're seeing this week. Economic and stock market risks. Starting off, let's talk about the economic and stock market risks that we have been seeing over the past week. Now, you might have heard about the challenges that's going on in the Panama Canal right now. Now, this is kind of similar to 2020, 2021, when we are talking about the reopening of our economies and a backlog of the ships that we're trying to get through. Well, today we have a very similar nature. We have over 200 ships that are currently stuck due to the serious drought that is happening in the Panama Canal. Now, what is happening here is that we are really seeing a disruption of the trade routes. And with the inability to have many ships getting through the Panama Canal, that backlog is building. And what this can do is really impact the shipping and trade patterns worldwide. So, like I said, this has wide-ranging implications, not only for our country, but for various industries in other countries around the world. And the uncertainty of the shipping schedules can really lead to higher risks of not only prices for the goods that are coming through the Panama Canal, but also risks with the global supply chain. Another factor that we are considering is the recent hurricane in California, Hurricane Hilary. Now, it is hitting the San Joaquin Valley, and this is a crucial agricultural region, and it could have significant consequences for crops like grapes and almonds, among others. But the Central Valley supplies a significant portion of our agricultural output. So think about not only the different lettuces, but spinach as well. And this is a very unexpected weather pattern, to say the least, and it could have a huge impact and influence on the crop yields and food prices that are coming out of that region. But not to be outdone, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has really led to some disruption in the food supply as well. Now, Russia's actions have impacted a third of the Ukraine's crops exports. And this is due to the blockage of the Black Sea ports. And it's not only affecting Ukraine's economy, but also the global supply of food as well, and the security of our global food supply. Now, efforts are being made to find alternate routes for the grain exports that are coming out of the Ukraine and to mitigate some of these challenges. But what we're seeing is that these events are really coming at a heightened time for inflation concerns and could lead to higher food prices here in the US and around the world. So all of this would compound an already delicate movement from the Federal Reserve and would keep them increasing interest rates to help fight inflation. And that leads us to portfolio changes. Well, let's take this opportunity to delve into some changes that we will be making in the weeks to come. Now, what we have seen over the past week with your portfolio is that there have been some maturing of certain structured notes. Now, as you may recall, that these notes provide you with a unique combination of income generation and protection against market downturns. In fact, that really these structured notes can shield themselves up to 30% from potential losses. Now, we're working on adding some additional structured notes into your portfolio over the next few weeks. So these notes will act as a bond alternative, which will really offer some stability during these uncertain periods that we're really starting to see. Additionally, because of all of the issues with not only Ukraine, but then Hurricane Hilary, as well as some of the Panama Canal actions that we're seeing, food prices will, like I said, most likely continue to increase. So we're keeping a close watch on investments that could actually benefit from this Federal Reserve increasing interest rates and how that may actually work into growing your overall portfolio. So even though we're going to be having some rising inflation possibly due to this, there are still some options that we could be utilizing so that we can actually benefit from this in your portfolio. So we'll be looking to add some of those here as we get into the next number of weeks. Wealth management and advanced planning. Now we're going to transition a little bit here. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the TD Ameritrade and Schwab merger. Now, as we've been talking about, this merger is really set to take place here in 2 weeks. And we know that you have questions surrounding all the different actions here. So we've been talking about how to log in and see your accounts online with the new Schwab Alliance. But also we want to talk about how this transition is going to affect your accounts with respect to your ACH money, the ones that is coming into your bank account. Now, good news here that the ACH transactions and deposits will continue to be processed for an additional about 90 days past the conversion. Now, what this will do is ensure a smooth transition from TD Ameritrade to Schwab. So after the transition happens, we'll be working to update your instructions and to make sure that we have everything in place to continue those ACH transactions and deposits after we have the merger. Now, like I said, we're going to continue to process these transactions for an additional roughly 90 days. Now, what our goal is to really give you ample time to make sure that all of the instructions are correct and to make adjustments as needed. What we don't want to do is have any interruptions that are caused by the ACH and by the transfers that are happening here. So what we would recommend is the instructions that you have on file after the transactions in transition is complete, that we go back and take a look to make sure that everything is set up correctly, so we have the information of your bank accounts on the new Schwab Alliance, and that we can be using that for putting money into your bank account in the months ahead. And the last element for today, I want to talk about our second opinion service. This is just a friendly reminder about our second opinion service. Now, if you have any friends or family members who could benefit from a fresh perspective on their wealth plan, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is a fantastic opportunity for them to gain insights and to make confident decisions about their financial strategies. And a second opinion is just that. It's a way for them to find gaps that exist in their overall wealth plan that they can go and help to mitigate and close in the future. So with that, remember that knowledge and planning are your best allies when it comes to securing your financial future. And if you have any questions or concerns about anything that we've covered today, please feel free to get in touch with us. Take care.